Okay, so I'm bleeding the brakes here. What I got this, got a Motive power bleeder. It said in the instructions to pressure it up to 15. When I pressured it up to 15, I was having issues with a cap on the reservoir. Kept popping off, so that was right at 15. It would sustain it for a little while, but over time, I don't know if I got too thick of a seal in there or what. But anyway, so got it pressured up to 10 here. It seems like it's been doing pretty good pushing it through. Right as soon as I got started, I found out I didn't have a couple connections tight enough, and a tiny little leak in there. But so you top off your reservoir, get it all the way up to its max level, and then I have this thing filled up. I used I don't know, a couple quarts of brake fluid. So then as it sits there and it just maintains pressure on it, pushes it through all your lines. This has got a siphon tube in the bottom, so it's constantly filling that up. You never got to worry about it going dry or nothing. So anyways, come back to the furthest point in the line and just take the bulk of the air out. You just get it somewhat fluid packed. It'll just sit here and just keep flowing. And you want to keep an eye on your tank. Try to keep it about 10 psi. Just pump it back up. Once the bulk of the air is out of there, then you're going to come over here to the driver's side and do the same thing. Again, just the bulk of the air. That's the same with the clutch. All right, now we're over on the driver's side rear. Got everything hooked up. You'll crack your fitting. Looks pretty good. We'll close that one back up. Once you got your hose hooked up, put your wrench on. I don't know if your guys is the same, but these were a lot tighter than I was actually stripping it out with this end. So I had to use the closed end there. But once you get it, just open her up and let her bleed. Get the bulk of the air out again. Okay. It's bleeding. Once it's looks like it's more or less fluid packed, shut her back in. And once you shut in and stopped, just go ahead and remove your hose. And then do the same thing to the driver front. Once the bulk of the air is out again, shut her all in. Now the reason you want to get the bulk of the air out of the whole system is you're going to have, if you just fluid pack that backside first, and then work your way around, fluid packing it all, you're going to need to fill this thing up again. So when you pop the cap, then you got air in the lanes that you didn't bleed, pushing air back up. It comes back up through your reservoir. You'll just have a bunch of issues. So once you get your whole thing primed up and you got pretty good fluid through all 4 lines, then we'll go back through and we'll do it all again. And once it's all done, disconnect everything, and then you'll just unscrew the cap here. And when you unscrew the cap, you'll have some bubbles working their way up here, but you shouldn't see any bubbles coming from the bottom. If any bubbles at all come from the bottom, it means you had some air in these lines or in this line, and you'll have to do it again. But once everything's done, disconnect your cap, drain your fluid back inside, put your regular cap back on, and take her for a run. If it is spongy, come back and repeat it, and every single time it should get quicker and quicker. Just make sure you get the order correct. Your passenger rear, driver rear, front passenger, and then front driver. Good luck.